I'm Chef Dom, and today we are making a pecan pie with cinnamon rolls on top. Plus, I'm going to show you my Cinnabon shame glaze recipe. Infused, of course. Let's go. Also, I put this liquor in it.
Great work.
Trying to be less submissive, you know? I think I have to melt that butter. Not going well for me. I mean, we can start, but I'm going to have to melt butter.
Literally means you're not ready to start.
It's 30 seconds. They could stay here.
They get what? And look at you while it gets microwaved?
That is hot. Okay. Step one. Step two. Step one is melting the butter. Now, we are going to make a super simple infused pecan pie. We're not going to bake the crust beforehand. We're going to bake it all at once. Basically, just going to add all this stuff into one bowl. It's got white sugar, brown sugar. We've got 2 tablespoons of melted infused butter. We've got some maple syrup. So we put like 150 milligrams in here. We're going to put like another 150 milligrams in the recipe, so it'll be like a 300-ish. We're going to go in with all this dark corn syrup. This is going to be great for the cholesterol.
Corn syrup is good for you, I hear.
Yeah.
That's what I've
for sure.
Anyway.
Yeah. My cholesterol is probably around 800, but when it gets to 1,000, I'm going to sell. It should be nice and goopy. Now I got a 1.5 cups of fancy chopped pecans. Look at that. This is probably delicious. We probably shouldn't eat it. All right, we're going to do a little pinch of salt because you know we are salty. Give this one last. We should quality control this, right?
Quality control.
Probably my favorite pie. Now we're going to add 3 large eggs, one at a time. Remember, we want pasture-raised eggs. They're the closest to vegan eggs that you'll get.
Keep referencing back.
Fancy director. You got nothing positive to say ever.
I think you're beautiful.
We've got pure Madagascar bourbon extract here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add some Kahlua to this bad boy. Let's do that. Let's smelt that bourbon, and it really got to me. Alcohol is great when you're like cooking and baking a little bit, but you know.
Or if you're lonely.
It's a neurotoxin, so. And it's a depressant. You should be smoking weed, really.
Or eating weed, as the case might be.
Come one, come all. Stop drinking alcohol and eat your weed. I'm going to go find some Kahlua. We've got our pre-made dough. Unfurl this. Get it nice into our... If you have dough that comes in excess of 1 inch over the end, you want to cut it. But we are right in the thick of it, right here. You can just go buy pre-made dough from the store if you don't want to make it yourself. If you do want to make it yourself, I respect you and respect your efforts. A little flaky salt there, you know. I like salt on the bottom of things. I like it. I'm not going to justify it any longer. You could crimp this and here, would you want to take 2 fingers like this and your thumb and just, if you want to make it like a little granny pie, just like Nana used to do it before she got dementia. All right, I'm going to just do a little crimp around the whole end here because we've started and now our brains won't let us stop. This really was the perfect size, aside from this little bit here that got, you know, I probably didn't handle it with the most care that I should have. We're just going to take this lovely goop.
Or the goop.
I want to get. Traditionally, people will decorate some nice pecans along the top here, but we are going to decorate them with miniature cinnamon buns, cinnamon rolls.
What's the difference?
I don't think there is any, but I felt vulnerable. I felt like I needed to change it. But what we're going to do is we're going to take, if you went to the pie store and got your pre-made pie crust.
The pie store!
At the pie store, you'll want to know what to do with this second one here, and I will show you. Hey, we're the Muppets.
Sorry, Jim Henson.
People say we Muppet around. Let's get another bowl here. We're going to make a little cinnamon roll, you know, that nice, delicious center.
What are those things that you're putting in?
Got brown sugar, cinnamon, and then 2 more tablespoons of a really soft can of butter. So we're adding like another 150 milligrams into the mix. You can get a whisk, or you can just use a flat spatula and just mash it about. But you're basically making like a cinnamon butter. You want really soft butter. It should be a nice little spreadable paste. I'm going to go right into the center there. And we are just going to spread this out. You want to spread this as thin as you can. I got a little hole here, so I'm going to roll that side first. We start with the first available hole. We want to roll this nice and tight.
Wow, look at that. Look at that technique. That's a man who rolls things.
I have been known to roll a thing or two.
He's a roller.
All right. Now we can get rid of these edges here. There's going to be no filling. Now you want nice, little, I would say about 1 inch. I think think I have a drastic misunderstanding of what an inch is, but
That's for damn sure.
now you could just really let your decorative side fly. It's really, you kind of just go on feel. I don't even know what I'm going to do. Here you go. You want them to fall in just a little bit, but you do want them to float. So we got the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, not to be confused with Kelvin or Kevin.
Kevin!
We're going to rearrange all these beautiful little cinnamon rolls on top. We're just going to cover the top of this in whatever design my stoned mind sees fit. You do the same. We are going to show you how to bake this in the oven without burning the top or burning the crust, all in one shot. Our oven is preheated. We have joints rolled.
Yeah, we do.
We're going to go in there for 50 to 60 minutes. But first, we want to tent this bad boy so we don't burn this beautiful grandma crust here. Now, I don't know if I have a big enough piece of foil here, but I've seen people use the same piece of foil every time they do this. Like they have foil saved.
Why save foil?
'Cause I feel like they're trying to impress the same people that want to save the turtles.
Yeah, but it's not straw.
I would like to save the turtles. Have you suffered a lot because of the turtles? Yeah, I mean, he did have a plan, that is for sure. Apparently we're not saving the turtles, and
Fuck the turtles!
Machiavellian nightmare. I need a little bit more foil. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm getting nice and inside here on this little pie dish and underneath, and then I'm kind of tenting this over so the heat can flow in and cook the center, but it's not going to come in from all sides, you know?
Man, you sound like a real scientist.
I don't want to get into, you don't let me talk about science. All right, we're going to talk about alchemy for a minute. So that's the basics of cooking. It's all physics and alchemy, more or less. So if you'd like to burn me alive, please let me be naked and spit on me while I roast. Is that what you want? All right.
Make the pie!
This is nice and tented. We got our oven preheated. We are going to smoke a joint so Evan feels a little less onery. We're going to bake this in the oven for 50 to 60 minutes. Want you to check on it after about 30 minutes. Make sure the top is nice and golden brown and not burning. If anything starts to get a little too hot or it's still a little too jiggly, you could just cover the top with tin foil and that'll stop it from burning. But you shouldn't have to worry about it if you're baking at 350. Pie is out of the oven and it is cooling. So it's time to make our Cinnabon shame glaze.
Shame glaze!
1 cup of powdered sugar. This is going to really closely resemble Cinnabon. If you want, you could use 2 more tablespoons of canna butter. You don't have to. We got 2 tablespoons of super soft cream cheese. Make sure it is very, very soft. I leave it out the night before. We got a half teaspoon vanilla bean. And you're going to need a little bit of milk, but you want to kind of mix all this stuff first, and then we'll see where we're at with the milk. A few tablespoons, a few teaspoons. We were talking about the shame glaze earlier and what makes it a shame glaze, and we've all decided, the 6 of us here, that it's the cum. I guess it's safe to say that anything that I'm doing has a fair amount of shame to it.
Yeah, shame and self-loathing.
Probably cum. A shameful delight. Let's get this on top of our incredible pecan pie, and let's fuck it up. Well, our pie is done on a completely unrelated note, and we have our shame glaze glazed upon it.
And we did not have sex with this pie.
Or the dough, again.
Or the pie.
600 milligrams in this if you infuse your shame glaze.
It's good that you don't know.
So we probably got about 40 milligrams in this pie piece of pie.
Why? Remember?
Ooh, and there's some of this in there too.
Oh, good time. Careful, careful. Don't fucking hurt yourself. We don't want you to be injured.
Well, it's because you're wearing boots, but it's not fair.
You're in fucking ballet flats. What's the difference?
Hold on, this is my favorite pie.
Tell me about the pie. Look at this. Is this like a cinnamon bun on top? I'm just coming in. I'm coming in for a scoop.
Don't you watch?
Watch what? Oh, Lord.
Take it easy, bud.
There's no right to be this flavorful.
Look at this crunchy, flaky pastry here.
Texture.
You can taste the cinnamon roll.
Around the pecans.
Yeah. The shame glaze.
Shame glaze really ties it together. Wow, you are covered in the shame glaze.
You can get me a towel like a gentleman.
When I'm done.
You're going to finish first, too.
Yeah, every time.
Without fail.
Sometimes I'm the only one.
Wow, we're going to eat the whole thing, huh?
Wipe yourself up.
That was so demeaning. I feel so violated right now. I don't even, I'm feeling away right now. It's the glaze. Wow. I really felt it. I felt the shame.
The shame is evident on your face.
Even if there was no running camera here, I would have felt emotions. I don't like it. I don't like it for anyone.
Do we need to take a cry break?
We're going to go to the cry room later alone. You're not going to manipulate me into coming this time.
Woo!
I want less of you to subscribe to this show. We're sorry. I'm sorry. Don't hit the bell. Don't send this to your friends. I just want this to never be watched by a single person that ever lives. Oh my God, the Cinnabon. It's always Cinnabon. I've had a Kafkaesque transformation, and not the good way. I'll never recover. That was 40 milligrams, that piece. We got like 300 milligrams at heart. I hate you so much. I've been so taken advantage of today by nature, forces of evil. Evan, don't reward Evan with anything. Please shame him in the comments for as many days in a row as possible. We will see you next fucking week.
Good.
Wow, that's so good.